Hello, welcome to Doctor Who Debrief Episode 2. Today we're joined by Alicia. She's our companion.
Oh, I like that. I feel like Amy Pond. Is that her name?
Just like Amy Pond, yeah. As you can tell, she's a really big Doctor Who fan. Is that Amy Pond? Was that a character? Was she in it for person?
Can we not exaggerate the issue, please?
I think she was in it for one episode, maybe. And of course, regular contributor through time and space.
Thanks.
Chris Pearson, everybody!
The TARDIS to your doctor.
Ooh, saucy.
That sounds really weirdly erotic.
On the inside?
Oh, okay, yeah, let's move on.
Can I just clarify, though, about my situation with Doctor Who? Very quickly, I used to watch it because of Matt Smith. No more words, like, just beautiful.
Just because of Matt Smith. David Tennant was a lot more beautiful, but anyway,
carry on. As well beautiful. And then it just got complicated when things started cracking off with River and her being the baby. Oh, I just don't know. I don't know.
Sorts. Yeah, so you got confused and left the show, but now you're determined to make a strong comeback.
Yes, I think it's a good opportunity with the new Doctor, so
Definitely.
I'm determined. I did not fall asleep during episode 2 yesterday.
So you fell asleep during episode 2, so you're going to be a really great reviewer. You watched the first 5 minutes and then fell asleep.
I was so tired.
We should say, which we didn't say last week, that we're going to talk about the whole episode. So obviously, if you've not seen it yet, don't watch this because we're going to talk about spoilers and things that happen.
And we should also say, if you don't want to see us but you want to listen to us, you can go on the link in the description to listen to this on SoundCloud.
Unless you're listening in SoundCloud, then you can go in the link on the SoundCloud description to watch us on YouTube.
Oh,
syndication!
Bam.
Magical.
So, Chris, first off, overall thoughts?
So this was the second full Peter Capaldi episode. It was called Into the Dalek.
That's the one. Was it a play on Into the Darkness?
It did seem familiar, didn't it? It
crap
featured...
Sorry, but...
Can I just stop and point out there's half custard cream? I feel cheated.
It's cuts.
It's guest custard creams. We get the full ones.
What is this?
Budget
Very
cuts.
sorry. Do continue.
Medical exam into a Dalek, bit like the magic school bus.
Oh yeah, I forgot about
Lots of shrinking, lots of antibodies, lots of Daleks, lots of school scenes.
Really good review.
Yeah.
We want your thoughts, not a synopsis.
Well, I just wanted to, recap.
Set the theme.
There was some... It was okay. The premise of the episode was quite a good one, but I feel like Daleks have been A, kind of done to death, and B, just aren't... I feel like they're just not as interesting anymore.
Are you over it? Are you over Daleks?
I was over Daleks. Sorry to Rusty.
Love me, Chris!
Rusty the...
Love me!
Rusty the Custard Cream Guardian. I'm just over them, and this was like a worse version of that episode with Chris Eccleston, where there was just that one Dalek in the containment facility.
Oh yeah, off
remember?
of Churchill.
No, way before Churchill. It was like the second or third episode with the Dalek waggly penis at the end. Don't you remember the waggle penis?
And then you woke up and you had to change your bed sheets.
It was okay, wasn't it? It was better than last week, I think. It had some good moments. I had some crappy moments as well.
You guys have been really bitchy about Doctor Who.
Sass. Peter Capaldi was great though, wasn't he?
I know.
He's so
he
ruthless. I love it.
Yeah.
My thoughts are the same as last week. The episode premise wasn't great, but Peter Capaldi was, basically, is my general summary. First off, really didn't like the episode. Too much spaceships, which sounds weird for a sci-fi show, but I thought it was too spaceshipy. So didn't like that. Then I didn't like the shrinking machine and they were going inside of Dalek. I thought,
oh my god, the effects when they picked up the capsule was just like...
I turned to you and went...
Magic School Bus.
I turned to you and went, this is awful.
Yeah.
So didn't like that. Then they were inside the Dalek and I actually really liked that idea and they were talking directly to the Dalek and all that. And it's not very often that you get to see the actual octopus Dalek thing as a creature. So I really liked that. Then I really didn't like the idea of Clara going into the memory and touching bits to bring it back to life. Bits on. So didn't like it. And then the Dalek turned good and then I did like it. And then And then Clara's new boyfriend said, I thought you might have something against soldiers, and then I didn't like the episode. So that's my overall thoughts. Didn't like it more, then liked it, then didn't, then liked it, then didn't, then liked it. And then Clara's boyfriend didn't like it.
So many emotions.
Just bitter that Clara's got a boyfriend.
Who we thought was Danny Ping.
Yeah, it's Danny
Disappointingly,
Pink
it's Pink, yeah.
off of Colours. Just to clarify. That's the thing.
Of the 5 minutes you were awake for.
It was longer than 5 minutes. It was definitely about 15. The lowest, I would say, was 15. And then, things started to get a bit hazy. I think I was half asleep, could have been dreaming. Lots of bright flashing and noises. Oh, it's very strange.
I really like a girl's review of Doctor Who. We were like, oh, the story premise and the characters, and then you're like, bright colours.
I could just feel myself getting sleepier and just not wanting to, so fighting against it. And then there was a little voice in my head going, oh no, you can't fall asleep because you've got to tell them to turn it down. The neighbours are going to complain. It was so loud.
I love how you.
So loud.
Your thought process when you're watching Doctor Who, I was thinking about, story depth and character development, and you were thinking, the neighbours might be asleep.
It was late, we were watching it midnight.
Yeah, it was late. But don't worry, you can always watch it on the iPlayer.
I can,
and
I
enjoy
will.
it over and over.
But for the short time that I was awake, it was very strange. The Daleks, as a non-fan, but getting there, I don't really find them that scary at all. I just find them quite...
They just look
comical.
daft, don't they?
Yeah. They're just really funny. And
Oh.
but we were talking beforehand about the Weeping Angels and the what's his name, Silencer.
The Silence, yeah.
The Silence, yeah. And they are horrible. But the Daleks are just little robots. Look at them, harmless.
I think there are. I think maybe it's the audience's perception of what's scary. So maybe in the 60s, the idea of a space robot busting down your door was scary.
Yeah.
But now we've become desensitized to it because there's so much of that in films and things like that. Monsters, we're kind of over it. So now we like the idea of sinister as scary. So the Silence that doesn't talk and makes you forget it. And the Weeping Angels that you don't actually see move.
If they hadn't been so popular in the earlier series, I don't know if they'd have come back, because now it feels like every time they could have done another monster there. It didn't have to be Daleks, because it's not, because the idea of going inside one being this terrifying thing was quite cool, but that's the only thing. They're just adding more ways to look at a Dalek.
Yeah,
and I don't know.
I was trying to figure out as well why it seems the Doctor is most scared of the Dalek out of everything, and then you started to try to explain the massive issue with Time Lords and Daleks, and it's just so complicated.
It's really difficult to try and explain the premise of the Time War.
Yeah.
Someone who doesn't know anything about it.
Yeah.
And then I tried to explain the War Doctor and didn't even...
Maybe that's what made me go to sleep.
Didn't even begin... Yeah, mate, brilliant. Cheers, thanks then.
Sorry.
Yep, listening to me talking about Doctor Who would want to do that,
Should we do best bits and worst bits?
Mm-hmm.
What was your... Rob, you go first. What's your standout highlight? Just a line or a sequence or...
I think the highlight for me was the fact that we got to see inside the heart of a Dalek again, and it's kind of added something new to a Dalek which we thought wouldn't be possible. I thought that was kind of good. The worst bit for me was the shrinking effect of the capsule, just putting it on the machine that slowly got quicker and quicker, and then lifting it up with tweezers. I thought it was quite badly done.
Why are you dipping your custard cream in fruit tea? That's blood orange tea.
Fish rings in custard, mate. Fish rings in custard.
Weird.
Chris, what was your highlight?
Let's go.
My highlight, and I know it's going to be really controversial with people, but there's this bit where when the Doctor brought Clara onto the ship, and he was like, "Oh, she's my carer," and then he was like, "Oh, she cares, so I don't have to." That's going to be so controversial. But as a line, I thought that's a real cool way of setting out his new ethos.
Yeah, I thought again, Doctor character development was done really well.
And especially with Clara as well. That those two are suddenly growing a lot. That was really cool. Least favourite bit, probably the line about "don't be lasagna." That might have been one of the weirdest things it was kind of funny, but I don't know.
I think I remember that. Can we just...
Yeah, that was when they were being shrunk and they were talking about piercing the lid on a lasagna. Don't be lasagna, otherwise don't explode. I reckon that is our... so Great British Bake Off had hashtag Bincident.
Yeah.
I reckon Doctor Who fans have hashtag don't be lasagna. Worldwide trending, yes please. Alicia, what was your highlight and low light of the 5 minutes you saw?
On the contrary, shut up. On the contrary... to Chris's low point of the episode, I think that would have to be my favourite thing. Now that I've remembered it, that was amazing.
Don't be lasagna.
Pure gold, yes. So yeah, that'll be my top highlight. My least favourite part, I'm just gonna come out and say it. Falling asleep. That
wasn't the episode's fault.
Yes, but it means I can not have finished the episode.
BBC
it's
iPlayer,
very upsetting. Yeah.
This week's Hoology goes to the character of the Daleks, which has just died in our eyes. Not a literal death,
Hoology.
but I just think they should leave it. Yeah.
With runner-up Hoology going to the guy who got evaporated.
Oh, I don't care about
inside.
him.
Oh, that was really sudden. I quite like. See again, it's like this new ruthless Doctor. It's edgy.
Didn't care, did he? He was like, "I'll take this. It'll kill you."
Yeah.
Just didn't look back. Clara was like, "Well, what are you doing?" And he was like, "No, let's carry on."
Yeah, we'll just go now.
That was a bit crazy.
Well, I like that. It's a little bit more Game of Thrones. It's a bit like anyone could die. Whereas in the old one, it was like, oh, everyone's going to survive and everyone's going to leave. Whereas it was like 3 people got out. I like the good Dalek, though. I really want him as a companion. I really want a Dalek companion. Because then we might actually get a companion that can do something.
Ooh, controversial.
And on that note, that was Doctor Who Debrief Episode 2. We'll be back next week. Chris is going to take care of audio versions of this.
Nice. Check out the SoundCloud.
Get on our SoundCloud. What's the address, please?
soundcloud.com/Doctor-Who-Debrief.
Really catchy.
Doctor Who hyphen. Can I do a PS?
Okay.
Can we do this on here? Also appreciated the guest starring of Vod from Fresh Meat, who we couldn't remember her name for ages, and we thought her name was Vav.
My favourite was you were like, you should have just stayed in the Fresh Meat house. Why have you left to go on a spaceship? I was like, it's not the same character.
To me it was. She really stood out for me as Vod.
Not how drama works. I love it.
Anyway.
Okay, thanks for watching.
Bye.
Goodbye. Bye. 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 Bye.